Let me have the parties identified.
Julie Panger with the department, also present as St. Francis Permanency Specialist, Haley Grissom.
Denise Marnell Casa.
Lindsay Murray, attorney for the child.
Okay, y'all tell me about Airella. Where is she currently placed? How's she doing?
She is doing fantastic. She is with an aunt in Dimmitt, and she is just doing so well. There aren't any concerns. She's on target developmentally. She's like bonded to her caregivers. There are no problems at all with Airella. She's very happy in her placement. Things are going really well.
Okay, last time we were here, and I think the time before that, we were talking about some ear infections that she had been having. Did we decide on tubes or something like that to help fix that?
I know that when I saw the family last week that they do have an appointment scheduled, but we don't have like a date yet for tubes, like a final decision on whether or not they're doing tubes. So I'll keep everybody updated on that.
Okay, and as far as permanency, my notes indicate that we were waiting on a baby sister in her CPS case. Do we know the status of that case?
Yes, so that's the parental rights were terminated on the other case. So we are just kind of waiting on the appeal periods and the redaction and the HESIG to be final. The home's already licensed, so it will be a very fast process once the redaction and the HESIG come back.
Okay, and do they have an attorney for the adoption?
That I am not sure of.
Okay, no problem. Okay, very good. Miss Murray, any concerns with Airella?
Not at this time.
Casa?
We have no concerns. We're pleased with the placement.
Okay, very good. Well, hopefully we will not need another permanency hearing for Airella, but if we do, it'll be June the 28th at 1:15.
Julie Panger with
June
the department,
28th,
also present as St.
1:15.
Francis Permanency Specialist, Haley Grissom.
And Denise Marnell with Great Plains Casa.
Okay, tell me about Kaylee. I know we just had the final hearing in this case last month. Tell me about how Kaylee's doing.
Kaylee is so sweet. She's doing so good. She's a beautiful little girl on target. Like we talked about, rights were terminated, so we're moving towards permanency with them. There are no concerns at all with placement. They are loving. They pour all their attention into these girls. So Kaylee also doing very well. No concerns.
All right, healthy little baby, no medical issues at all?
No medical issues.
Okay, seems to be on target. Do we have any sort of ECI needed for anything?
No, when I visited with them, they said that it hadn't been needed for Kaylee.
All right. Very good. Casa, any concerns with Kaylee?
No, we have no concerns at all.
Okay. All right, we will have another permanency hearing for Kaylee, same day, June 28th at 1:15. All right, thank y'all. You'll be jealous. Let me have the parties identified.
Julie Panger with the department, also present as St. Francis Permanency Specialist, Chris Salinas.
Belinda Edling for the mother, Alexis Reyes, and we are both present and ready.
Janet Clift Williams. I'm the attorney for the respondent father, Johnny Morellis, and I presume that he would be here. I know Jamie sent a notice over to TDCJ, but I'm not seeing him here.
Yeah, I know y'all were working on that yesterday. Maybe he'll join in just a minute. Ms. Panger, tell me about the status of service on these parents.
Both parents have been served, Judge. They were served on January 16th.
Okay. Tell me about Melody. Where is Melody currently placed?
Melody's placed in a foster home in Amarillo.
Same foster home that she was in at the adversary?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, how is she doing?
But, Your Honor, she's doing a lot better now compared to the past time we had the hearing. She's back on her regular eating schedule. The formula she's taken, she's doing it well with it. No issues with any of the constipation. She's also taken some of the vitamins with the same formula, and she's sleeping better, eating good. She's no issues with her mobility. She's getting it's improvement, a lot significant improvement from the last time.
Good. Okay, at the adversary hearing, we had talked about the home study that was pending on Miss Herrera. Has that come back?
Yes, Your Honor, it's come back and it's been passed. It's been
Okay.
approved.
Does the department have a plan to move the baby to the grandmother's?
Yes, we're gonna make arrangements with the grandma to move the baby.
Somebody's coming in. We got a phone here. Very good. We started the hearing and I was getting an update about Melody, and the worker indicated that Melody is in a foster home, doing well, sleeping well, eating well. No health issues at all. They have a good formula for her now and is doing very well on that. But a home study on a maternal great-grandmother, Isabel Herrera, was approved, so the department plans to move the baby into that home.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So that's kind of an update on what we just heard. So let's see. I don't see Miss Walker Casa concerns with Melody.
No
concerns, Judge. All right, Mr. Morellis, do you have any concerns regarding Melody?
No, ma'am. I'm sorry to interrupt on that too. I thought you were speaking to me, but no, none at all. The house got approved. That's all I was worried about. I know she was in a good foster place, but the closer to home, the better. And I'm grateful and thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, so Mr. Morellis, are you in favor of placement with the maternal great-grandmother, Isabel Herrera?
Yes, of course.
Okay,
And Judge, I'm appearing for Miss Walker today. We don't have any concerns. We're glad to see that she's going to be moving back with family.
okay. Thank you. I'm sorry I skipped over you. All right, Miss Reyes, can you unmute yourself for me?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any concerns regarding Melody?
No, ma'am.
All right, and are you also happy about the placement with the great-grandmother, Miss Herrera?
Yeah, I'm excited.
Okay, Miss Reyes, is Miss Herrera your grandmother?
Yes.
Okay, got it. And she lives where?
She lives in Dimmitt, Texas.
Okay. All right, what is the visitation for plan for Miss Reyes now that we're going to place in that home? Is she going to be supervising the mother's visits, or are we still doing that through St. Francis? What is the plan there?
Your Honor, we're gonna ask that she supervises the visits with Miss Reyes as she sets in her schedule, because Miss Herrera works in the mornings from 8 to 12 daily, and then after lunch she's good. She's clear with her schedule, so we'll get that set up with them.
Okay, does the department have any limitations as far as the amount of time?
We're probably looking at per visit of 2 hours per visit. However she sets it, at least give her at least 2 hours, probably about 2 or 3 times a week.
2 hours, 2 or 3 times a week?
Yes, as best possible, according to her schedule.
And Your Honor, I think we're going to get with Grandma and Mom and we just would like to know when the visitation will be, what times. So I think we just need to get with them and make sure that everyone knows when the visitation times will be. But we're open to as much visitation as grandmother can supervise since the baby is so little.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, certainly the same thing. Let's do the same thing for Mr. Morellis if he is released. Same sort of visitation plan for him.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else regarding the child?
No, ma'am.
All right, let's talk about plans of service for the parents. What are we asking Ms. Reyes to do in order to get Melody returned?
Your Honor, we're asking for her to obtain and maintain legal income for the minimum of 6 months, provide verification to the department, submit to random drug testing, participate in individual counseling, complete drug and alcohol assessment, OSAR, if possible, if positive for drug use, participate in complete 12 hours of parenting classes, maintain a drugs-free lifestyle, participate in visitation with their child, and have monthly face-to-face contact with the department, obtain and maintain safe and stable housing for a minimum of 6 months, allow any agent of the department full, complete random access into the residence, no unsupervised contact with any children while CPS case is pending, and refrain from any and all criminal activity for the duration of the time.
Ms. Evelyn, any issues with the plan?
No, Your Honor, we actually sat down after the adversary hearing and worked all that out, and so it's been agreed since then.
Great. And what have we gotten started on? What is Ms. Reyes participating in so far?
Your Honor, we got off to a good start. We asked Ms. Reyes to submit to a random drug test. Came back on the 20th. On the 20th, we sent her to get a drug test, and it came back negative on the UA and hair strand.
Good.
Parenting classes will begin this coming Monday, the 26th. And she's also signed up for individual counseling. So she has been very cooperative with us.
Okay. Very good, Ms. Evelyn. Anything else to add on behalf of your client?
No, Your Honor, I would just like to commend Ms. Devereaux. She is one who does not rush to judgment on home studies, and if there's something that can be fixed or worked out, she tries to do that so that placement can be made with family. So I really do appreciate that and want the court to know that.
That's good. I appreciate that too. All right, very good. I will approve the plan of service for Ms. Reyes. And tell me about Mr. Morellis's plan of service. What are we asking Mr. Morellis to do?
Your Honor, at this time, which he's in the East Texas multi-unit facility, we're asking for him to participate in any services available to him during his incarceration. Provide us with any certificates of completion. Once he's released from incarceration, will notify us, and we will begin services with him for psychological counseling, random drug testing, drug and alcohol assessment, obtain, maintain legal income, individual counseling, parenting classes, visitation, obtain, maintain safe housing, and refrain from any criminal activity.
Ms. Cliff Williams, any issue with Mr. Morellis's plan?
Your Honor, I did not have the opportunity to review it with Mr. Morellis since it's kind of hard to communicate there at TDCJ. But from my understanding, the plan was he does anything that he can while he's incarcerated, parenting classes, counseling, anything of that nature that would be in line with the plan of service. And then once he's released, a new plan is created. Is that correct, Mr. Salinas?
That is correct.
Okay. And I would just ask Mr. Morellis if he understands that.
Yes, I have, and I've ran through every resource here at this unit, and the most they've given me, because we, like I mentioned last time, this is a multi-treatment facility. We do program every day from sun up to 5 in the afternoon with a break and a relaxed hour. But they also sent me paperwork to do, which I got a packet in from y'all, and I will, when I complete it, I will send it in with whatever paperwork y'all have done. But as far as any more help, I was told that that's probably the best it's going to get while I'm here besides the program, because the program is a cognitive program. So to think, that basically cognitive program, behavioral change. So, I mean, I'll do, and I'll look in again, but I've spoken to almost everybody, and that's pretty much that's the basics here, counseling and all that. I've not really spoke about counseling, but I can look into it. But I'm game for whatever y'all have planned. I'm proud of Alexis for her doing what she has to. It's really good, and we just want to get the baby back,
Mr. Morellis, do you have any sort of release date that you've been told?
we get a projected release date. Mine's the 19th. It's not a for sure date on there, but about a week or so after my projected release date, if everything's fine, then I will be released. But the program does say up to 180 days, so I'm not, but they cannot hold me longer than 180 days. But I'm pretty sure, as I've seen everybody go through the program, about by the end of April, I should be out, ma'am. And as soon as I do, the first thing I do is get in touch with the caseworkers. I want to get that on the ball, so.
Okay, very good. So I would say we need to be thinking about the services that Mr. Morales can be starting as soon as he gets out, and that sounds like it's fairly soon, before our next hearing, if it's April. So, Mr. Salinas, let's have some therapy providers and that sort of thing in mind for Mr. Morales. Is your plan, Mr. Morales, to come back to the Dimmitt area?
Yes, ma'am. I plan on going back there and getting my family back together, so.
Okay. Okay, very good. Anything else on Melody?
No,
Are
Your
you
Honor.
asking me?
I just want to encourage as much visitation as possible. I know Alexis has applied for a job. It's not easy to find a job in Dimmitt, but all the help that she can get from her grandmother with parenting, diaper changing, feeding, all of those kinds of things will only benefit her, since this is her first child. So I appreciate whatever the department can work out with all of them.
I agree. Same thing for Mr. Morales when he gets released. Okay, I'm going to set the initial permanency hearing in this case, June the 28th at 1:15. Anything else?
No, Your Honor.
All right, good luck to you folks. We'll be adjourned.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Julie Pangle with the department, also present is St. Francis Permanency Specialist Chris Salinas.
Linda Ebling, attorney for the mother. I'm present. She is not.
Cynthia
At least I don't
Terso.
think she is.
Cynthia Terso appearing for Alicia Walker for the children today.
Monica Olivas with CASA present and ready.
Ms. Pinger, what is the status of service on Mr. Marufo?
We are waiting, Judge, on substituted service returns for Mr. Marufo and for Jose Hernandez, both.
Okay. All right, and it looks like our placement is here. Tell me about the children. Are they still placed with Miss Lozano?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, how are they doing in that home?
Your Honor, sibling, a group of 4. We'll start with Evelyn. Evelyn's the oldest. She's 17 years old. She's a junior in school. Evelyn is doing well at home. She enjoys being there, and she's also pretty much the protector of the family. She's the big sister. She's involved in powerlifting at school. He loves to do that kind of a workout, and she's engaged in that. The only setback we've had on Evelyn is on the 6th of February, she got involved. She got into a fight at school, protecting her sister, as a matter of fact, and she was issued a 10 days. It's called DAEP, which is the Disciplinary Alternative Education Program. She was 10 days suspension, but she's already completed that, so she's back to her regular classes. And as far as school, she is failing one of the classes, but she's progressing better and trying to get back her grades, get her grades back up again. Other than that, we've also got her state ID. Been trying to get the birth certificate because she was born in the state of Kansas. Miss Lozano's been engaged in that, and she's finally going to get a birth certificate sent to her. So we'll be able to get her state ID for her and work on her driver license.
Okay. All right, what about the others?
Hey, Adelie she's a sophomore, 16 years old. She's doing well at home. She's likes living there with placement, and she's involved in school. As far as school, she doesn't have much activity. She's more of a quiet, reserved person. She also got involved and she was in the fight as well. She also got the 10-day suspension. She's already completed that. As far as the school, she's doing good. She's passing all her classes. And there's health, it's going great. No physical health problems with her. Doing good.
Okay, and Judith?
Judith is more reserved. She's quiet and she likes to keep to herself, but she likes to draw. She's an artist and she's comfortable living with Miss Lozano. She's a freshman, and on her grades, she's got one class that she's been failing, but she's getting it back up again to 72 as a matter of fact. So she'll be able to, if she completes that, she'll be passing all her classes. No health concerns, no medical issues with Judith.
Okay, these three oldest kids, are we gonna get them involved in PAL?
Yes, Your Honor. They're already in PAL. They're working on the life skills due to the travel distance because they live in Denver City. So the PAL worker sends a packet to them to work on.
Okay. All right, what about Jose?
Jose is your outdoor kind of kid. He's 11 years old, fifth grader. He's passing all his classes. He loves to do, they got a golf cart at home. First thing he does when he gets home from school, gets on that golf cart and goes and feeds the animals. So he's an outdoor kind of kid. No medical concerns. He's thriving at home. Very respectful little boy.
Okay, are any of the children on any medications?
The only one is Evelyn, Your Honor. She takes the inhaler. She has some kind of asthma, breathing problems, only when she needs it. Everybody else is good.
All right, any of the kids have any behavior concerns at home?
No, yeah, Judith got off to a little behavior concern, but it's stabilized and she's able to calm down a little bit. They do have individual therapy weekly, and the therapist has said that Judith is improving on her behaviors.
Okay, good. So tell me about this fight. What was this about?
Apparently there was on social media, a comment was made towards Airella, and Airella confronted the student and they got into an argument in school and they got into a fight in the bathroom. Airella was fighting that person, and then Evelyn heard about it. She ran into the restroom and joined into the fight to protect her sister.
Right, any sort of criminal charges or anything like that we might be looking at?
No, Your Honor.
Any injuries?
No injuries.
Okay. Any of the children have any services that they're getting at school? Any sort of modifications or any help?
Yes, Your Honor. Modifications or special education. Judith, Evelyn, and Airella are due to their English and math. They get special services for that, special education.
Is it helping?
It's helping. They're doing good on their grades.
Are they happy in the home?
Yes, they're happy. That's a question I'll ask them, and they're happy. They're involved in helping their aunt. I have not any concerns whatsoever that have been voiced to me regarding the placement.
Okay. I want to put her on the spot right now, but is this a long-term placement if we need it to be?
Yes.
My understanding, Judge, is that yes, and I kind of think right now the holdup is us waiting on those citation returns. Unless someone tells me differently, I think we'd ask that the next hearing, that next permanency hearing be set as a final also, because I think that the intent is to move forward with Ms. Lozano taking PMC of these kiddos. They've had long visits with her about that, and that's what she's wanting to do.
Okay. Is she getting licensed? Would this be a PCA thing or just a straight transfer of PMC?
What my understanding is that it's just a straight PMC transfer.
Right.
Okay. Let's just make sure that we explain all the PCA and what we're leaving on the table there.
Yes, ma'am. And I think they've done that already. I'll visit with Chris. I know Chris and Jasmine are both really good about documenting. I'll make sure that all of that's documented, but I think they've had that pretty long conversation with her about that.
Right. Ms. Lozano, can you unmute yourself for me? Okay, we've talked a lot about the kids. Do you have anything to add or anything more you want to say about how the kids are doing? Uh-oh, can't hear you. Ms. Terso, any concerns regarding the children?
No, Your Honor. I think Vilma's doing a fantastic job. And 4 kids at that age is not an easy thing to undertake, even in normal circumstances. So I definitely applaud her, and I'm glad to see that the children are doing very well.
Okay, Casa, concerns with the children that we haven't talked about?
No, ma'am, no concerns at all.
All right, very good. Tell me about Ms. Guzman's progress in services.
Your Honor, the progress in services with Ms. Guzman have been non-existent. I have been very patient with her and trying to, talk to her and discuss the services. I met with her back on January the 24th of 2024 at Ms. Lozano's residence because she is still refusing to provide the address to her residence in Denver City. So I met with her and we had a good talk. Provided the family planner service to her. She refused to sign it. She made a comment that says, yes, I want my kids back, but I'm not going to do this service plan. I think you guys are being too dramatic and I'm not going to sign it. So she has not participated or not complied with me regarding the service plans, her family planner service. She has not made efforts to visit the children as well.
Ms. Eveline?
Your Honor, I did have a conversation with Ms. Guzman about 10 days ago, and she didn't have any complaints about the children. And we did talk about what she wanted to do with the case, so I don't have anything else to add. I concur with what Mr. Salinas said. I think when she was at Miss Lozano's home, I believe when Mr. Salinas was there, she did comment that the children were not there, so she didn't have the opportunity to see them. So I don't know exactly what the efforts are to arrange the visitation. So maybe Chris can address that.
Mr. Salinas, do we have visits scheduled for Mom?
Your Honor, visits have been scheduled with Mom. And that day that I was with her discussing it, I asked her, do you want to see your children? And basically she said no, because she just doesn't want to see her cry, see her how she looks. So she's been given that opportunity to get in touch with Ms. Lozano. Hey, come pick me up so I can visit the children. And no arrangements have been made regarding that. But the opportunity has been offered to her to do that.
Thank you.
Okay. And Mr. Salinas, have we located either father?
No, Your Honor, Mr. Cesar Marufo, I've sent letters to him. The last known addresses, haven't got a response yet. On Mr. Jose Hernandez, I got close to get in contact with him, and on January the 9th, 2024, I made a call. His brother answered the phone based on the contact people that I could call, and he was going to give him the message to call me, but he hasn't called since. But he is living in California. Jose Hernandez is living in California, but he hasn't made any efforts to call.
Okay. Ms. Painter, tell me where we are as far as paternity and adjudication and all of that. Do we have any orders in place with
Judge,
respect to the children?
My understanding is no, that there's not, that both of these fathers are alleged.
Okay, so I'm trying to decide whether or not to appoint Miss Eveline to the fathers that are going to be served by publication and whether or not that's necessary. If there aren't any orders, would the department's plan at the final hearing just be to non-suit the allegations as to the dads?
Likely so, just to non-suit those, and that because I don't think there's been any, I'm not aware that there's been any contact with the fathers. I don't think that they've been present at all for some period well before we were involved. So that's likely the plan is to non-suit.
Okay. If you change that plan at some point, please let me know, and then I'll appoint Miss Eveline to represent. Well, actually, if you find one of them and your plan changes, I'll probably appoint somebody different.
Okay.
To the fathers.
Okay, I'll let you know, Judge, either way.
Okay. So I'll just leave them unrepresented at this point. Okay, I'm going to set this for another permanency hearing and a final hearing, June the 28th at 1:15. Okay, thank y'all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Judge.
Ms. Phelps, we do have any concerns now that you're here?
Not at all, Judge. I'm so sorry. Time just got away from me. I'm finally in the office today and I just got caught up and I apologize.
That's
so
okay.
no, we were just there last month. I think we're just moving along. So we're good.
All right. Very good. And congratulations on getting to spend a day in the office.
No kidding. It's nice. Thank you. See you later.
All right. Thank y'all. Y'all have a good weekend.
You too.